Good morning, everybody. Welcome to our Thursday morning gathering brought to you by Harvard Pilgrim Healthcare and Tufts Health Plan. My name is Tara Healey, and I'm the founder and director of the Mindfulness Program, and delighted to be here with you this morning. For anybody that is new, these practices are about 12 minutes in length. They are fully guided, 12 to 14. Fully guided, and there will be periods of silence. And then at the end, when we're done, you can stay on, and we usually do Q&A, also sharing of resources. So for anybody that has a book or an app or a podcast you've been loving that is related to practice, there's an opportunity at the end to share it. I went ahead and put the point32health.org/livingwell site in the chat. So if you haven't opened the chat, make sure to do that and select everyone from the drop-down menu. That might be already the default for you. But as we begin, I wanted to say that I have been, as you know, all of us have been feeling a deep heaviness about the tragedy in Texas. And, feeling, a sense of geographic distance, not knowing quite what to do, which I think, is just a very common experience when things like this happen. And, we're already in such difficulty globally with a lot of really challenging things that are happening in the world, challenging things happening in our own country, and this most recent devastation of the flood and the lives that have been claimed. And so I wanted to just say, let's devote the energy of our practice to those that have lost their lives, to those that are impacted, to the families, and hold that close as we practice. I really love World Central Kitchen, Jose Andres, and so I plan to donate to them. I saw him speak not that long ago at the Connecticut Forum, and I've really loved his work for quite a few years. So, but just, yeah, I just wanted to start off by saying that because that is so up for me. And, we'll just devote the energy of our practice and how many of us are on this morning? So about 20 of us. And we'll save time at the end just for, again, talking about this or anything that is up for you this morning. All right, so let's go ahead and get right into it. And you have some postures that you can assume. So you can, if you want to stand, standing is totally fine. Even doing walking meditation, there are just 4 classic postures. Lying down, if you're not too tired, also fine. Seated, standing, walking. If I didn't say that, those are the four. So seated, standing, walking, lying down, the classic postures. And just go ahead and let your body settle. Like, let go of what has happened so far this morning. So any news you might have looked at, anything, any movement that you've had this morning, exercise, anything at all. So we're gonna just letting go of that, releasing what's next, even the very next moment, just allowing yourself to arrive fully, mind and body together. All of us practicing together. And see if you can surrender the weight of the body, the weight of your body into the support of the surface. So just kind of holding the whole body in your field of awareness and releasing into the support of the ground below. So the immediate surface you're on, but also, the earth, the ground below. can hold the weight of your body, the weight of the emotions. So settling, just allowing yourself to let go of what's happened, release anticipation of what's next, fully aware of your whole body, so awareness over the whole body, dropping into the support of the earth, maintaining an upright spine if you're seated, checking in to see what's happening in the body. And we really don't have to change anything. We're just bringing awareness, knowing what's going on. Mindfulness, this quality of being awake and aware and receptive. So fully aware of how the body pulsing, vibration, temperature is kind of, you're the scientist, but you happen to also be the subject. So you are receiving the body the way a scientist would be looking through a microscope, just curious, receptive, open. And perhaps aware of the rhythm of your breath this morning. No need to change it or make it different, but just simply breathing in and breathing out, aware of the pace of your breath, aware of the rhythm of your breath, aware of the feeling anywhere in the body of your breath. Let's take a moment to expand our awareness just for a moment to include sound that might be happening in the room you're in or outside of the room. So just widening that lens. Mindfulness is like a lens that takes the scattered and reactive energy of the mind and just simply focuses it into a more coherent source of energy for healing, for navigating life, for being awake and aware to all of what's happening with a sense of allowance. See if there are any areas of your body that are looking for a little more attention and just letting your awareness land there. Again, nothing special to do, but just receive. Allow. Kind of like the Rumi poem, The Guest House. Everyone is invited. We may not be happy with some of the visitors, emotional or physical visitors, and yet they've arrived. And so they have a place for now, and they are of the nature to change. This is the law of the universe, thankfully. And for the remainder of our practice, let's find an anchor, so a stabilizer, something that we can return to each time we see that the mind has wandered. We're not trying to stop thought. We're just simply seeing when a narrative has slipped in, that we're just not going to continue with it because we're formally training the mind, doing mental push-ups, as Dr. Amishi Jha said yesterday, if you were able to join. Strengthening that capacity to be awake and aware, to know what's happening. Less often hijacked by a strong emotion, because it's been seen. So that's what we're practicing, getting back in the driver's seat of our attention. So an anchor could be anywhere you feel the inhalation and exhalation most prominently this morning. It can change from day to day, but could be just a sense of the whole body breathing in and breathing out and feeling the sensations of that breath. It could be the rise and fall of the belly, abdomen area. Could be even more narrow, like the nostrils, air entering and leaving the nostrils. And if for any reason breath is challenging, use sound. If there's a somewhat consistent sound in your background, just open awareness receiving that. So each time the mind wanders, you just return to that sound. And alternatively, you could take the palms of your hands and rest them on the top of your thighs. And the feeling of the point of contact would be your anchor. So I'll be silent for the next few minutes. And just on your own, as soon as you see a thought has slipped in, that's a really good moment. It's not a moment to be frustrated or upset because the mind is thinking. Not at all. It's just simply, thinking, not now. Release, return, soften the body, return to your anchor. Noticing where your mind is and soften the body and return to your anchor. And again, noticing where the mind is, releasing, softening, and returning. And as we bring this meditation to a close, may we and all beings everywhere be peaceful and at ease, hearts soft and open, safe and protected, and bodies healthy and strong. And may whatever good comes of our practice be a benefit to all beings. And I want to also read a very short poem, and this is again from Ingrid Madoff, who I really love. There's no title. It says, "The moon is luminous even without our notice. Yes, even when we don't look up or pay it any mind. With or without our awareness, its beckoning beauty remains. What else in life is like this?" So taking a moment, if the eyes were closed, to open the eyes. And wow, 10 more people joined from the time I started. So happy to see everybody. I'm noticing WCK. Oh, yeah, the kitchen. Yes, yeah. Do what we can when we can. Yes. Um, So I just wanted to just open the floor up for comments. World Central Kitchen is very near and dear to me, and the work they do is so phenomenal. So for anybody that joined a little bit late, I was just saying that have felt a lot of the heaviness of the world, and especially um, what happened in Texas, the flood, the loss of lives, many children. Um, with all that's going on in the world, there is still some beauty. And last night I heard the cooing of an owl, and I have a lot of woods behind my house, and so um, I got out the Cornell ornithology, the app that tells you what bird is making what sound, and it was a barred owl, which it had the red dot rare. So I think they're not rare in general, but for this area they're rare, and there was something just so beautiful and comforting about hearing that sound several times late last night. So anybody else want to offer anything you've come across that has supported you lately? It could be a podcast or an app or a book, or anything that you are um, engaging in, or anything that you're doing to help just kind of manage through a lot of the uncertainty. Yeah. Or anything about your practice too. So, and if anybody sat in on the Amishi talk yesterday, Dr. Amishi Jha was our guest, and I know John is working on getting that ready to post. But I thought she's fabulous and really relatable. I think her work is accessible. And so if anybody joined yesterday, would love to know what you thought about that. But if you didn't, if you go to point32.org/livingwell to the mindfulness section, it'll take you right to our YouTube channel, which is just called Mind the Moment. I am taking an in-person class offered through Action for Happiness. Oh, wow. Julia, thank you for that. Really nice. And Jamie seemed to be, yeah, the flooding, yes. Mm. Oh, glad you saw Mishi too. It's been, yeah. Here, she'll be offering a free app that has only been offered to the military up until now. I think, Dr. Brewer is doing the same. Yeah, it's, we we need this. And to have whatever tools available that could be available and accessible to everybody at either low or no cost is really exciting. And yeah, she's really good. Um, the other thing I'll just say too about practice is that of late, my mind has been super busy. And I think because I do, I think I'm actually overdoing it a little bit with the news. And I have to more consciously make an effort to just limit it. And wittingly or unwittingly, however we're directing our attention regularly, that gets trained. So that then starts to happen more often. So whether it's a good habit or a habit that is draining us, it's a habit that gets, if we train it. So Dr. Jha talked about that, but also um, Dr. Davidson from the University of Wisconsin, like his quote is wittingly or unwittingly, we're always training something. And so the practice that we're doing here, the practice of mindfulness, helps up the wittingly part. So like we can see, for instance, when there is an impulse to check, like I'm seeing the impulse before checking, whereas if I'm not practicing, I might not see that impulse and just keep checking. You just don't see things as vividly, as often, as clearly. And that's part of the beauty of practice is I see the impulse to look. And because I've seen the impulse to look, I can breathe with it, feel the impact in the body. What does that impulse to look feel like? What's the physical expression in my body? Can I just breathe for a bit with that and then renounce it? And then you start to strengthen that path. So you're more in the driver's seat of your attention. Heather, my son is a camp counselor now. Honestly, I was a bit nervous today. His camp's on a late, of course. And I only read print editions of the news that way and find it. Yeah. It's okay to feel the heaviness in our world, but also take care of ourselves. Yeah, it's a balance, right? It is. It's a balance. It's so important to acknowledge what's happening, to really be present and feel the impact in your own body, really tap into that. Very true about moderating news. Yeah, struggle to find balance. Yeah, between being informed and engaged, but not. Yes, Karen. Yeah. Yeah. And I think we can rely on our practice to help us find that balance and to tune into our bodies, because our bodies will tell us. The body is wise, and the body will tell us. We will have some kind of tightness, physical manifestation of some kind. Um, and yeah, take really good care of we need to take care of ourselves, find those moments of beauty in nature. I love Ross Gay's book about delights, and where he just made it a habit to find something that delighted him each day. So it felt a little different than gratitude. And there was like, even though the book came out a few years ago, there's a freshness for me to delights. What has delighted me? So the barred owl delighted me last night. Um, and just kind of the wonders of nature, why certain flowers and plants grow close together increases the ability for pollination to happen. Like nature has things so well planned out. And just knowing that, the mystery, the beauty, the awe, those are things that we can tap into. Yes, and mindfulness is so helpful in finding balance. And it's why I think just practice is so important to just keep at it, especially days when you might not want to, just go ahead and do it anyway so that you work with the resistance to not wanting to sit with yourself and the barrage of thought. And do it anyway. And maybe just do it for a little less time. Instead of 12 minutes, there might be a day where you're like, I'm just going to do it for 5 minutes today. And then there might be days where you do it for 30. So I would worry less about time and more about what the researchers are saying, which is consistency. That's really what matters more than the amount of time is consistency. So we're at 8:58, just doing my time check. Anything else that's come up for anybody, in terms of a question or a comment or something you're reading, even if it's not related to practice, but it's bringing you some joy. Although I have to say, like, it can be tricky to find a novel that is, I mean, they're out there, that's uplifting. Nice, Lozelle on a cruise doing practice. Yeah. So also a good way to do practice is just because in with practice we're using our sense experience and you can practice with your eyes open. Thank you, Anne. Yeah, well, we're at 8:59 and I just want to thank everybody. I'm really delighted, especially in the summer, to see that 30 people were on. And especially in this time, currently using the app Breathwork. Great. Johanny, thank you. I'm not familiar with it, but the breath can help to stabilize our emotions. So there's so much on breath work that is really great. There was also a guy, I read the book, who wrote a book on how healing the breath is. I'll bring it next time, unless somebody can remember. I know I've talked about it. Happy Thursday. Thanks for sharing the happiness. Yeah, Julia, thank you. And thank you all for showing up, for the support that we offer each other in these times of uncertainty. It feels so important to me to have this community. I look forward to being with you on Wednesdays and Thursdays. And don't forget to check out the Tuesday session at noon. John Roberts has been interviewing Jess Morey, and Jess is wonderful. And all of those are recorded. So if you missed any, you can see them, but you don't have to have seen one to join for next week. All right, everybody, take good care. See you later.